Hey everyone. So, um, as you can probably tell by the title of this video, um, AI has finally beaten me. Um, I will be starting this new series as a way to document my personal journey back into traditional art, traditional painting to be more specific. I will probably be starting back, not probably, I will be starting back up with acrylics. I will be using the golden open acrylics, which are basically just slow dry. So a best way to mimic the slow dry property of oils so that you can still work with wet on wet more similarly and not so much with the fast drying. Um, I would like to have started with oils. However, with the mix of like the toxicity, the crazy amount of learning curve with just using that medium, um, spontaneous combustion, you know, all the things that are super fun about oils, kind of was like, that seems like a big jump when I'm starting back into something new. I'm not saying never, but I'm just not saying to start up. Especially the cost and price point is redonk too. But all that to say, I wanted to get back into it, so I was led to acrylics. And as much as I know that oils can be better to work with in terms of their property of slow drying, that led me to golden open acrylics. And so here is the beginning of that journey. A little bit of background: I've been an artist for over 20 years or 20 years, and I've been doing digital painting for 13 plus. And I started in traditional but very young, so I didn't really get really good into traditional before digital stole my heart. And when that happened, I stuck with it because honestly, you save a lot of money. You can do so many things: the versatility, the freedom, I guess, the confidence that you can build faster with it. The less room for worrying so much about errors and mistakes. Like when you make a mark, it's not permanent or written in stone. Um, and it takes little to no time to fix it. So that was where I was for 13 years. And when I say AI has finally beaten me, I mean, as digital artists, and I'm sure others can attest, it has become a more scrutinized version of art. Not that it went without scrutiny anyway, but with AI, it has become even more so. And I, like many others, are tired of having to not only defend our medium, but also our integrity. Um, there has been a lot of ignorance around digital art since I started, and so a lot of people who consider it not real art are not helping, and they're just ignorant. They don't know better. I don't necessarily blame them, but I also blame them in the way I blame anyone who willfully decides to be uneducated on a topic. So all that to say, as much as I had no problem trying to defend the work and the medium and educating people on the attributes or the validity of the medium, that hey, you still need to be an artist. Just because you're digital doesn't mean you can be less of an artist and be better than. Your work still shows through. However, AI, it rose quickly, it rose like wildfire, and now I have breached the having to defend my integrity aspect of it. And I think it's wildly unfair. I think being bullied into traditional sucks, because now, as a professional artist who does this for like work, I now have to try and get into another medium that is going to set me back skill wise years, not because the skill isn't there in terms of creating and conceptualizing art, but because when you work from medium to medium that are so wildly different in their approaches, well, wildly different in their approaches by choice, um, you, like anyone else doing the same thing from one to another, you are going to start off pretty basic. And then, yeah, you may rise quicker than if you were to just start art all entirely new, but it's still a setback. And in the world of business, that can cost, and it can cost a lot. And I'm going to have to suffer through that. And unless you were already a very well-known, famous digital artist before the rise of AI, anybody who comes after are just a little screwed. The only way to combat it is if you film yourself 24/7. And as an artist, I want to do art when I go into it and want to do it. I don't want to sit there and spend 5 minutes or more trying to set up a stupid film studio just to start painting, because not every time I sit down to start painting does it last for more than 5 minutes. And honestly, I suffer from a little thing where it's like when you're filming yourself, you get stuck in your brain and you start over worrying about the time you're spending looking at the canvas that you eventually just freeze. And so, all that to say, I think it's ridiculous that artists are supposed to, or digital artists are supposed to be filmographers and videographers and editors on top of a painter. I would rather someone say, "What was your medium?" and say acrylics, and that's it. And then they're like, awesome, cool, whatever, rather than, "What's your medium?" "Oh, I'm a digital painter," and then have to give a whole dissertation on the process of it, my personal process of it, and how it still should be considered a valid way to paint and create. Anyways, all in all to say is I'm just really tired of having to defend myself all the time to people. So I'm going to go back to traditional. And this is going to be the start of my journey in that. I will be documenting my learning processes, my progressions, my little studies and attempts, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm doing this more for myself, to keep myself like documenting the struggle. And this is going to be for me, but if there's anyone who wants to carry along, tag along, walk with me on this, I welcome it. And if there's anyone out there also starting with acrylics as well, learning something new together, I guess that would be cool too. And if there are people who already know some stuff who can see that I'm doing something inefficiently or wrong, inputs would be great, obviously with courtesy at the forefront of them comments. But at the end of the day, I think it'd be a good way to pull from different resources and learn how I can be a better artist in this new medium that I'm moving to. And yeah, so I don't think I have any particular plan on what I'll be hitting moving forward in terms of like, skills, exercises, color theories. I don't know what I'm going to be hitting first. It might be all over the place. It might just be me posting a video of trying a new painting and seeing how it turns out. And that's it. But either way, it'll be fun. I am excited to do it. I mean, the start and the push towards it was annoying, but the getting into it, I think, is going to be super fun. It does feel like a little bit of, going back to my roots kind of thing, which is always a good experience. And I would recommend anyone and everyone to do something similar if they're trying to chase a passion. So all that to say, I would say welcome and thank you for joining me, or not. Yeah, let's see where this road takes us.